Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Bryndís, and today I'm gonna talk about the books I read in May. I only had 2 books on my TBR or pilot possibility for May, and I only got to one of them. I read quite a few books. I read 12 books in May, but I didn't read both of the books on my TBR or pilot possibility. And the book that I did not get to is Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell, and I didn't get to it because I wanted to listen to it as an audiobook, and I don't like the narration of the audiobook that I have in my audiobook app. Then, actually, one of my frequent commenters, Zach, he told me that you can actually listen to this book as an audiobook on YouTube. I did not realize that, which is ridiculous because I use YouTube so much, and I have seen audiobooks there, but I didn't think that I could find this one. But anyway, so I found it on YouTube, and eventually I will listen to it through that means. But yeah, really want to read this book, so I did not get to it. And the other book that it's been on my list forever now, and I didn't get to in May is The Priory of the Orange Tree, but I am going to pick it up back in June. I have already started and hopefully get it closer to being done, because it is a good book. It just hasn't been, I don't know, it hasn't been on my brain to actually read it. So yes, but okay. The books I did read were really good. I enjoyed them for the most part very well. And yeah, let's talk about them. I read a lot of Agatha Christie's in May. But I also read a couple of other books, 3 other books, and I want to talk about them. The first book is Hildur by Sati Ramo, or Remo. This is a Finnish author, so it was translated from Finnish, and I read it in Icelandic, or listened to it as an audiobook in Icelandic. And this is very interesting. So this is a thriller. It's the first book in a series, and it takes place in Iceland. So the author, lives actually in my hometown in the Westfjord region of Iceland, in the northwest of Iceland. And it takes place in my hometown, like I said, so it was very interesting to read this book. So Hildur is the main character. She is a police officer, a detective, and it's kind of her story solving gruesome murders. And yeah, it was very good. Very good, really good, like excellent thriller, very suspenseful. Of course, I'm sure maybe I was a little bit biased because it was so fun to kind of hear her read about my town and like the places that people would the shops or whatever. And so that was really fun, and I really enjoyed that. I haven't read a lot of books that are set in my hometown. It's a very small town, so very few people think to make it a setting for a thriller. But yeah, it was really good, and I really enjoyed the writing. I really enjoyed the characters and the plot. The thriller part of it was really good, very suspenseful. And like I said, it's the first book in a series. I think there are like 4 books out, and I think this is the only one that's been translated into Icelandic so far, at least as far as I know. I definitely want to read the other books. It has been made into a play in Finland, and it is now being made into a TV series. I don't know if it is going to be like a Finnish TV series or like an English language TV series. I need to figure that out whenever that is published, but how I can watch it and where I can watch it, because the Finns are really good at doing like good thrillers for sure. So yeah, it was a really good, 100% recommend, and I really enjoyed it for sure. And then the next two books I read are by Katie Lumsden of the YouTube channel Books and Things. And you would have seen this book in my reading vlog, I think, which was published 2 weeks ago. And it's The Trouble with Mrs. Montgomery Hearst. This is a historical fiction, a romance, and influenced by Jane Austen, Elizabeth Gaskell, Anthony Trollope, I think, maybe Dickens as well. It's, as you would have seen in my reading vlog, it's so good. Oh my God, it is so good. I was so happy, and just happy for Katie for having written such a good book, and happy for myself for being able to read such a good book, because I really enjoyed it. I think that the writing, the plot, the characters, there were a couple of twists in there that I didn't necessarily foresee, and I wish it was really wish that this would be a series, because I really want to know more about Amelia and what happens to her in her life. And yeah, it made me laugh, it made me cry. 5 stars. Absolutely love this book. 100% recommended. And it's, it takes place in the Victorian, or was it in 1940? In 1840? 1841, yeah. So early Victorian, and it's just lovely, really lovely. And because I loved it so much, I had to go ahead and read Katie's other book. This is her first book. It's called The Secrets of Heartwood Hall. So this is more of a mystery, kind of a gothic feel to it, heavily inspired by Jane Eyre, by Charlotte Bronte. And you can definitely feel those, feel those vibes in there for sure. It was very suspenseful. I was kind of like, "Whoa, what is happening?" A little bit scared. I am a bit of a scaredy cat. But yeah, it was very suspenseful, and the mystery was very interesting. And I really loved how it was resolved in the end, and kind of what happened with the characters. Yeah, really fun, and very well written. Made me cry, and it was just very lovely. And it's very interesting to me that both of her books, which I did not know in advance, have a LGBTQIA+ element to them, which was fantastic. And I thought that was really interesting to see that also in the setting of Victorian England. So just in case you want to read something, for diversity or for Pride Month or something, these books actually fit that for sure. So yeah, these are really good, and I really look forward to more books from Katie for sure. But yes, so sorry, I have my notes here because I can't remember anything. So the next 9 books are Agatha Christie, because I am on an Agatha Christie just craze. So I finished her standalones. So I read The Ordeal of Innocence, The Pale Horse, Endless Night, and Passenger from Frankfurt. All of these books are standalones. So Ordeal of Innocence, to be honest with you, I read all of them kind of as comfort reads. So I wasn't necessarily, I'm not going to be able to give you a really good review of each book, because they are all kind of blended in as one book, basically. I thought that the Ordeal of Innocence was very good, very suspenseful, and like whodunit was kind of like, whoa, what is going on? And apparently this is one of Christie's or her favorite book, not one of her favorite book, but her favorite book. And I really enjoyed it and gave it 5 stars. The Pale Horse was pretty good. There was some like possibly supernatural element to it, which I thought was very interesting. It was suspenseful for sure. Didn't like it as much, so it was a 4 star. Endless Night I thought was really good. And I really like the narration style of the book, that it was like one POV from so the narrator of the story, it's all through his POV, his point of view. And I thought that was really cool. And then the twist at the end, very good, 5 stars. Passenger for Frankfurt, she has these kind of spy adventure novels, international secret agencies, conspiracies. Not my favorite. It was okay, 4 stars. No, actually I gave it 3 stars, sorry. And then we go into her Miss Marple. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Miss Marples. And again, I'm not going to be able to give you a proper, like a really good review of each of the books, because I just listened to them back to back to back to back. Didn't really give myself any time to really reflect on each book, because I'm not in that mental condition at the moment. I 100% know that I will reread these books again, and at some point when I reread all of the Agatha Christie books, probably, I would like to do individual reviews of each of her books, each of her Poirot books, each of the standalones, each of the other series, the other different characters, and each of the Miss Marple books. Just so that also for me to be able to really remember each book and to really figure out which are my real favorites, basically. So that's something that I can see myself doing in the next few years, for sure. But yeah, so I started it off with Murder at the Vicarage, The Murder at the Vicarage, which is the first Miss Marple. And I also talked about it in that reading vlog. I really enjoyed this. I think that it's a really good introduction to Miss Marple. And like I said in that reading vlog, Miss Marple is very much the opposite of Hercule Poirot. She's very humble and very ooh. Although she is the smartest person in the room. And, she kind of goes under the radar for sure. But I liked it. It's definitely not my favorite of the Miss Marple, so I gave it 4 stars. Then we had The Body in the Library, which I also liked very much. I also own that here. I thought the plot, the twists were really good, and I like the characters, and I like the fact that Miss Marple has a much bigger role in this book, for sure. And so she is kind of more active in the investigation. Then we have The Moving Finger, which I thought was a very interesting book. Interesting twist, little bit different probably than some of Agatha Christie's that I've read. And Miss Marple is barely in this book. You can't really see her until, I don't know, the last quarter of the book or something like this. She comes in there very late, which is why? So. But I still like the book, so I gave it 4 stars. Then we have, I have it here, The Moving Finger. Yeah, it was interesting. Then we have 2 books that I don't actually own, and one of them is Murder is Announced. And that one is definitely my favorite so far of the Miss Marple. I think, if I remember correctly, also probably one of my favorite Miss Marples. It's excellent. It is so good. There is so much suspense and a little bit of heartbreak really in there. And the plot, the twist, it's just done really well. And Miss Marple she does come into it a little bit late, but not as late as in, I mean, no, not really. I mean, it's not, maybe in the second quarter or something like that. But yeah, but she is definitely a part of the investigation. And yeah, I really like that. And yeah, very good book, 5 stars for sure. And then I read They Do It With Mirrors, which I really enjoyed as well. The plot, the story is very kind of suspenseful and interesting. And Miss Marple is there like from the beginning in a leading role. I really like that. So she was like is friends with a couple of the main characters. And so I really liked her role in there in the book, and like how she, of course, solved the murders, solved the crime. Yeah, 5 stars. So yeah, those were the Agatha Christies. Yes, the books I read. These are just a few of them, obviously, because I don't have all of them as physical copies, but it was a good month. I think that it's been really good to just dive into Agatha Christie as a reread and just not take it too seriously and just kind of listen to it as I'm going to sleep or going for walks or whatever. Just need to kind of relax my brain from all this PhD stuff. So it's been just so nice. I love Agatha Christie in general, and I'm really loving being back with Miss Marple. I remember the first time I read Miss Marple, I actually started to like her more than Poirot. I'm not there yet with these first like 5 books, but I don't remember how many books there are in the Miss Marple series. There are definitely fewer than in the Poirot series, but I really like Miss Marple. I mean, she is definitely a character from her times, let's just say, but I just like how she is this kind of under false pretenses, but you know, people don't think she can do anything because she's a fluffy old lady. But she's actually the smartest person in the room and the one that solves the crime, even though she gives all the credit to the police. So yeah, I really like that. Anyway, yeah, so that was my May reading. You may have noticed I did not do a June TBR Pilot Possibility video because I'm just basically reading Miss Marple and then a couple of books here and there. I'm definitely gonna want to try to probably hopefully finish, we'll see. But because I am enjoying this book. So this one is on my June TBR plus all the Miss Marples. And then we'll just see what I read. But there will be a TBR for July, obviously, Jane Austen July. I'm really looking forward to that. And I actually realized, I think it was Debs at Rainer Reads that said that I can use these books for Big Book Summer, which I hadn't even thought I would take part in. But yeah, so this is my book for Big Book Summer. And so I have the entire summer to read it for sure. And we'll see, maybe I will get to the Pickwick Papers as well this summer, but I'm not worried. I will read what I will read, right? So I guess that's that. Thank you for watching. Have you read any of these books? What do you think of Miss Marple? Do you think she's a better character than Poirot in some ways, or have you read her at all? Yes, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.